There are JRPGs that go beyond entertainment. They are stories that pull you into their world, make you lose track of time, and keep echoing in your mind long after you turn off the console. It's not just about saving kingdoms or defeating villains, but about growing, suffering losses, making difficult choices, and understanding the weight of every step taken. These games use strong narratives to create unique experiences, those that make you reflect at night about everything you lived there. They are complete, emotional, and unforgettable journeys. Chrono Trigger builds this feeling from the very first minutes. Everything starts light, almost innocent, until a simple experiment opens the path to time travel. From then on, the game turns the past, present, and future into connected pieces. Each era has its own conflicts, cultures, and tragedies, and the player quickly realizes that small actions can change the fate of the world. The story flows effortlessly, never dragging, always revealing something new. Characters enter and leave the plot naturally, creating strong bonds and memorable moments. The use of multiple endings reinforces the idea of choice, making each journey feel personal. It's an adventure that respects the player's time and delivers emotional impact from beginning to end. Dragon Quest V: Hand of the Heavenly Bride follows a different, more human path. Instead of simply accompanying a grand quest, the game shows the entire life of a character. You start as a child, grow up, mature, and build a family. Time truly passes, and that changes everything. People you love leave, others stay, and each stage of life brings new challenges. The narrative is simple but deep, focused on family relationships, responsibility, and love. The monster recruiting system strengthens this feeling of a shared journey as your allies grow alongside you. Marriage is not just a story detail, but an important decision that influences the future. It's an RPG that treats time as a central part of emotion.
Final Fantasy X presents a world trapped in a cycle of fear and faith. The story follows Tidus, someone from outside that place, and Yuna, who carries a heavy destiny from the very beginning. As the journey advances, the game questions ancient traditions and the price of sacrifice. Each party member represents a different viewpoint of that world, with their own pains and conflicts. The narrative slowly builds its emotional weight, preparing the player for difficult decisions and painful revelations. The ending does not seek easy comfort. It delivers an honest, strong, and unforgettable conclusion, reinforcing why this story marked so many people. Xenogears is one of those JRPGs unafraid to go deep. The story begins straightforwardly, with Faye living in an isolated village, until a tragic event changes everything. Losing control of a mech and destroying his own home, he is forced to flee, burdened by guilt and confusion. Little by little, the game reveals that this is not just a local conflict, but part of something much larger, involving ancient technology, past wars, and cycles repeating for thousands of years. The narrative tackles themes like identity, trauma, faith, and free will, always treating the player as someone capable of reflecting. Each character brings emotional baggage, and the dialogue builds a heavy world full of symbolism. Even with pacing changes toward the end, Xenogears remains memorable for its courage in telling a dense story unlike anything else at the time.
Xenoblade Chronicles bets on scale and mystery. The world exists upon two giant titans, and that idea already creates an immediate impact. The story follows Shulk, a young researcher who discovers the power of the Monado after a devastating attack. The standout aspect is how the game blends exploration with narrative. Every area is large, full of life, and always gives the feeling that the world truly functions. Future visions create constant tension, pushing the player to try to change events before they happen. The conflict between organic life and machines deepens, revealing unexpected truths. The journey is long but never empty. Characters evolve, relationships strengthen, and the world reacts to the group's actions. It's a story about purpose, choice, and the weight of knowing too much. Tales of the Abyss focuses entirely on personal transformation. Luke begins as someone spoiled, irritating, and disconnected from reality. This is not a flaw in the game, it's the central point of the narrative. As the story progresses, serious mistakes force Luke to confront who he is and who he can become. The change doesn't happen quickly, it hurts, and that makes it more real. The other characters don't exist just to support the hero. Each has clear motivations and personal conflicts. The plot explores identity, responsibility, and the impact of decisions on an entire world. The real-time combat reinforces the pace of the adventure, making everything more engaging. Tales of the Abyss stands out for showing that growing up isn't always pretty, but it is necessary.
Nier Automata starts straightforward, almost cold. Androids fight against machines in an abandoned world, following orders in the name of a distant humanity. At first, everything seems simple, almost mechanical, but that impression doesn't last. As the story progresses, the game begins dismantling certainties, questioning purpose, consciousness, and the meaning of existence. Machines begin imitating human emotions, creating communities and repeating behaviors that seem empty but carry meaning. The narrative grows as it asks the player to revisit events from new perspectives, revealing hidden truths. Each route adds layers to the story, completely changing how you understand the characters. The fast-paced combat contrasts with the emotional weight of the plot, creating a unique rhythm. Music, silence, and repetition work together to provoke reflection. Nier Automata doesn't offer easy answers, but leaves questions that echo long after the end. Vagrant's story follows a more closed and dense tone. The story takes place almost entirely in Leyland, a ruined city filled with strange energy. You control Ashley Riot, an agent involved in a case that quickly becomes something much larger. The game does not explain everything clearly. It trusts the player to piece things together, understand dialogues, and perceive contradictions. Politics, religion, and ambition intertwine in a mature narrative full of gray areas. There are no clear heroes or obvious villains. The combat system reinforces this constant tension, requiring attention, strategy, and preparation. Every battle feels important, every room deepens the mystery. Vagrant's story stands out for treating the player as someone active in interpreting the story, creating an intense and unique experience.
The Legend of Dragoon relies on a classic narrative but filled with identity. The journey starts with Dart, marked by the destruction of his village, and soon expands into a much larger conflict tied to ancient legends and the balance of the world. The story speaks of destiny, sacrifice, and cycles that repeat. Each character brings their own pain and motivation, enriching the group little by little. The timing-based combat system keeps the player always engaged, making every attack feel more personal. The Dragoon transformations represent not only power, but also the acceptance of an ancient legacy. Even following a traditional structure, the game wins players over through emotional sincerity and the care put into its world.
Do my eyes deceive me?
Commanded to undertake an operation to eliminate the brigade.
All right, lads. Cut through these...
Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles presents one of the genre's most mature narratives. Instead of a simple battle between good and evil, the game dives into politics, social classes, and manipulation. The story follows Ramza, a young noble who begins believing in the kingdom's structures, but gradually realizes how they crush the weak. In parallel, Delita follows a different path, driven by revolt and ambition. The contrast between the two is the heart of the narrative. Wars are not glorified, deaths have weight, and decisions bring harsh consequences. The tactical system reinforces this serious tone, requiring planning and battlefield awareness. Every encounter feels like a real part of a larger conflict. It's a story about losing innocence and understanding that justice doesn't always win. Grandia brings an opposite but equally striking feeling. The story follows Justin, a boy driven by curiosity and a desire to explore. The world is presented as a place full of possibilities, ancient mysteries, and lost civilizations. The charm lies in the light and sincere way the game handles growth and maturity. Justin doesn't start as a hero, he becomes one gradually. Friendships form naturally, and the adventure carries a constant sense of discovery. The time-based battle system makes everything more alive, allowing interruptions and quick decisions. Grandia is about believing in tomorrow, about moving forward even when the world tries to stop you. It's a journey that conveys joy without losing strong emotional moments. Suikoden 2 closes this list with one of the most human stories in JRPGs. The focus here is not just saving the world, but dealing with war, friendship, and hurtful choices. The plot follows two friends who end up on opposite sides of a bloody conflict. Their bond is tested by ideals, responsibilities, and destinies that ask for no permission. The system of recruiting more than 100 characters reinforces the feeling of a living world, where every person matters. Large-scale battles show the real cost of war, while personal duels carry emotional weight. Suikoden 2 speaks of leadership, loss, and hope in a simple but devastating way. And here we reach the end. These 12 JRPGs prove that great stories don't age. They remain alive because they speak about people, choices, and real feelings. If you've played any of them, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Watch the video above to find even better games, and subscribe to receive even better lists.